So today I'm going to paint this denim jacket, and I'm just going to paint inside this rectangle here. And so first thing we got to do is mask it off, so because we don't want any paint on the rest of the jacket there. Just to cover up the rest of the jacket, so don't get no overspray on it. Just using some masking paper, and then with the help of a magnet there, I'll tape this on as well. There we go, all masked up. Okay, so first step we want to do, we don't want none of this denim pattern showing on there, and we want a nice base to be able to put the artwork on. So we're just going to base it up white, and then everything that goes on top of that, then it'll be nice and clear then. But before we put the white on, just going to do one step before that and put on some 4004 transparent base. I've never used it before, but apparently it makes adhesion better and stops the nap of the material coming through. We'll give it a go. I'm just going to put a couple of coats of that on, and then in between each coat I'm going to use the hot air gun to heat set it. Now to do the white base. Now I'm using Create X airbrush colours for this. I've got their illustration colours and I've got their Wicked colours, which apparently are all suitable for fabric, but these are more suitable for the fabric, whereas the Wicked colours I believe would be more suitable for like leather and stuff. Because I've got these and I don't use them that often, means they're full, so I'll use these. Just reducing it with a bit of 4012. I gave it 3 coats of the 4004. Base that up white now. It's not as white as I wanted it, but you can see by the this definitely changed the colour. I did actually switch over from this to Wicked white, because even though that says opaque on it, it was coming out transparent, whereas that was much more opaque. So although I used tons of paint getting it to that stage, I would have used even more if I used the original paint that I used. So next step is to map out the image on there. We can do that either with, you can either do it freehand, you can do it with a projector, you can use stenciling. I traced my chosen image with this sticky masking paper. There's slightly see-through. Traced that straight off my iPad. That's going to be my stencil. So just started cutting out parts of the design. My first colour is going to be red, and there's all flowers around the edge. They're all red. There are some darker red ones. So I'm just focusing on the bright red ones first, but a lot of them are overlapping each other, so I've only cut out every other one so that they're not joining up at the moment. I'll paint them in lightly, and then I'll take this back off, cut all the other ones out, and then reapply this again and paint them. It'll show the outlines in between all the different flowers that are the same colour, because I've done them all separately, if that makes sense. It should make sense once I'm doing it. It's not amazing at sticking to fabric, so you just have to hold it down where you're going to spray. Just concentrating on the outline of it and then block it in. But don't go overboard doing it really thick, because it's better to do lots of light coats. Plus we want to be able to make out the outlines of all the overlapping flowers. If I did it really thick paint, then it would be harder to determine which flower is which if I did it all really thick paint. Areas like this, where the image is smaller than my paintable area, I've just cut it at a right angle. But when my image is mapped out onto there, obviously this will be taken off, and then I'll freehand that flower as if it keeps on going. So where the area where I don't want those straight lines actually part of the image, just go really light on those edges. Same again by here. So that's my first batch of red done. I'll take this back off now, and there you can see we've mapped it out, what I've cut out so far. So now I just cut out the rest. So I've cut more out now, so just reapply it where it was. Probably gonna have to do this in 3 steps just for this one colour, because there's so many flowers that overlap each other. The problem with that is that this tends to lose its sticky more and more. So I'll have to use more tape. On this colour I'm going to go a little bit lighter than what I've already painted. Okay, that's that one. As you can see now, we're starting to develop more of the image, and you can determine which flower is which now in the 2 sessions I've done so far. So that's all the bright red flowers mapped out. Next we got some, I would say like a dark red or brown to do in between those ones. So I'm going to cut that out of my stencil and apply that next. Right, so now we're going to do the dark red. Just paying attention to where my lines are of the colours I've already done, so I don't go over them. That's all the flowers done now. So while I've still got the dark red or brown in the cup, I'm just going to continue on where the image actually cuts off. While I'm at it, I'm just going to darken them up a bit so they look more like the colour that they're meant to be, all while I've got the colour in the gun, just so I don't have to mix it again and pop it back in the gun again. Obviously this isn't a super realistic image that I'm copying from. It's kind of a simplified image I would say. So my next step to do, I'm just gonna get a Posca pen and just outline around where each leaf overlaps the other one. That's all the base colours of the flowers done now, flowers and leaves. So now we gotta change the colours up to, I think we'll do grey next, and then it'll be like a lime green. So I've just stenciled in the bottom of this part of the image here with a grey I've mixed up, but before I do any more grey, I want to do the green that's on there, because the stencil now is starting to get a bit fiddly and it's probably going to break. So if I get the green on there, I can then go around the green with black, because I don't want to put the black, block it up with black and then have to try and put green over the black, because obviously it would be hard, because trying to cover black with a lime green, I would have to then put white over the black and it's going to just use loads of paint. So I'll get the green on first now, carry on with the light colours and work darker. Just freehanding this. Just put some green on, and now I've cut out a couple of areas on the remaining part of the stencil. I'm just going to put some black in so I know where that's got to go. I think the rest of the black I might just freehand it in now, because the stencil's getting too fiddly. So now I just block in all the black areas, and then I'll leave the detail of the black to last. So I've done a lot of the blocking in of the black now. I'm gradually going deeper into the detail with the black now, mostly by freehand. So that's how we are now, and I'm just starting to do the detail on the centres of the flowers now. What I tend to do is see where the black is, where the lines are. Do it in faintly first, then see if it needs to be darker, and then once I've done the darker bits, then I can do like the block shading then, or whatever you call it. Like this by here now, I'll do the centre in faintly first, then I'll do the darker bits. Just by going over it again, and then I'll shade it around that area then. And then just keep repeating the process all the way around. Just finished all the black detail on the letters in the middle and all the flowers, and now I'll be doing the writing by here. So first I'm gonna use a stencil just to get the basic layout, and then go in freehand after that. there's my basic layout of it, and now I'll go in, freehand it now. If you didn't do that, you run the risk of it not looking center or not having enough room for letters and stuff. And after doing all that work, you wouldn't want that to happen. If this was a precise logo, I'd be using a vinyl sticker. But it looks like ink. It was meant to look like ink, paint or whatever. So I think I've finished all the black now. So next step is to do the blue. Blue is mainly shading. That's the blue done. I might dust a bit of purple over it. I think we're pretty much done now. I just went around all the ends of the petals of the red flowers with some white, tidied up some of the lines and highlights on the skull with white, and then went on to the dark red leaves and highlighted some of the edges of them with white, and then went over the top of them with the lime green, and then also touched up some of the lime green that was on the skull. I think that's pretty much it. I think it's time for demasking now. Actually looks a lot whiter than I thought. I'm pretty happy with that. One Foo Fighters custom denim jacket. So the last thing I'm gonna do now is, to protect it and make it durable, you gotta set it with heat. So you can either do that with a heat press, an iron, as long as you put some baking paper over it to protect it, or a heat gun. Now I don't know how good the heat gun is, but I'm just going to do it with a heat gun first, and then I'm going to do it with an iron after that. So that's how I done the Foo Fighters denim jacket. Custom 1 of 1. Check out the Instagram page. Click on the subscribe button. Give it a like if you want to. I think that's about it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Jazz and this is St. Foo Studios.